Hey Brad, we've got your X450 here, Black Edition, and want to show you a little bit about your package, show you some of the features on the transmitter, and then go right into some of the other details. So let's go ahead and start with your transmitter. Obviously this looks familiar. It's your setup here. What we've got here on the back is this is your Dragon Link, and I didn't put Velcro or any sort of adhesive on this just because I didn't know if this is exactly the way you wanted it set up on your rig here. But so what I did is I just set this up kind of according to spec and the best that it would fit there, and it actually works really well. And then I just put some rubber bands on here right back here to prevent friction or rubbing between these two, and then I just strapped rubber bands around this. It holds it real good. This comes with a longer antenna, but I've got your stock antenna on there for this. Just slip the little battery on there. So how this works is this is the plug for your Dragon Link. Now this is going to go back here in your trainer port, and you'll notice that your DX8 is off, switch is off, and you probably used this before in terms of the trainer port. We're going to plug that in. When we do that, it automatically turns on your DX8, and it says slave. Now that means that the Dragon Link is now taking over as far as will be the transmission of the signal. So now that that's plugged in, we have to turn this on, and that's what this little battery is for. So you're going to plug in these two cables right here. And when you plug that on, you're going to get a little, right here, you're going to get a green light. And when that green light's on, you know that you're transmitting. On your switches, and we'll go ahead and unplug this. Now on your switches, only thing that I did is I put a little bit of yellow heat shrink tubing right here, and all I did is I put a little bit of heat shrink tubing back here on this one switch to remind myself which one is your failsafe. So as it stands, I use this switch that already has your knob on there for your flight control. So top position is GPS, middle is attitude, and the bottom is manual mode. So we've got all those set up on that switch. This switch back here, your other color-coded, or your other switch with a knob on it here, this one is actually going to be your retracts. Hit that, your retracts will go up. And then, of course, this one is your fail-safe. So whichever one of these modes you're flying in, and if you're familiar with DJI products, hit that and you're going to go into fail-safe mode, and it'll come back and land and shut off the motors for you. And the only other one that's programmed for your gimbal tilt is your knob right up here. So rotating that left or right is going to rotate your gimbal up and down for you, and we demonstrate that a little bit later in the flight. But that's kind of the overall layout and what your switches look like for this setup. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the quad itself. What you got is, I just stuck my GoPro in here to give you an example, but your FPV equipment's already all set up. So this is your live video out cable for your Fat Shark. So once you install your GoPro by putting this plate over the lens, then you're going to attach these two screws right back there. One there, one here. Okay, you'll put your gimbal in there, and before you seat it in there though, you're going to want to plug in this cable. So plug this into your live video out, then seat your GoPro in there and screw it down. And then okay, real quick we're going to talk about the goggles. So it's a basic setup. Your battery is fitted into the strap here for the head strap. So this is just a matter of take this little rubber cap off and plug it directly into its power port right there, and that will automatically turn on the goggles. So how this FPV is going to work is I've got a little battery attached right here for you, just like the one for your Dragon Link. You're going to wrap this balance plug right up here. It just comes right over and plugs in right there. And that right here is the power source. I'll lift this up here. Is the power source for your video transmitter right there. You'll see that, and the antenna coming off the back of it there. Super important, never power up this transmitter right here without having that antenna attached, because if you do so, it will burn it out. So I just left that attached for you. You don't have to worry about it. So that's all connected. Ooh, and let me show you here where you see where the camera connections are coming out of it. Power, and then the GoPro live video out cable out of the end. So those will stay plugged in there. And again, your live video out cable, this will go into your live video out port of your GoPro before you seat it into your gimbal. And again, once you plug this in to there, it will power that transmitter I showed you. And you have this cable hooked up there. All you have to do is turn on your GoPro. And once you've done that, all you have to do now is just plug this into the side of your goggles, and the image from your GoPro will show up in the goggles. So that's it. So as a quick recap, put this in your GoPro before you seat your GoPro in the gimbal, and then turn your camera on, and then plug the little battery right down here right into there to power your transmitter. And then third and final step, take this and plug it right into the side of your goggles, and you're good to go. And that's how you're going to do your FPV. Real quick on the blades, and if you're familiar with quads, you'll know as far as the proper orientation for the blades. But let's just talk about the the front left. This is a clockwise motion. Its diagonal counterpart is also clockwise. The front right is a counterclockwise motion, as you can see how the blades are cut. So its counterpart is also counterclockwise. So counterclockwise and clockwise, and then the same for the back ones that coincide with that. So that's what you're going to do. Also, it's real important to, when you put these blades on, you want to make sure that this nut is super tight right here. As long as this is tight, these blades will not come off. If this is not tight enough, you can guess what will happen. These blades will fly off. So, real important, you want to just make sure that these are super tight. Also have your LEDs here, which is pretty cool, and you get to see those in the video as well. Okay, wanted to talk about the Dragon Link receiver just a little bit. We ran everything through the Dragon Link receiver, so it's going directly from your NASA to here. So, what we've got is starting from channel 1 all the way through channel 8, and then you have 9, 10, 11, and 12 on this side. So up here, starting with channel 1, the way they have this set up is throttle first. So throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, and then the gear, and then the rest of them. So, but that's how these are set up. So otherwise, normally it would be, A first, aileron, elevator, throttle, then rudder, then the rest of them. And that's how it's set up on the NASA. But what's confusing is they don't tell you on the Dragon Link information that the channel 1 is not aileron, it's throttle. So just to save you a little confusion in case these ever come unplugged. So A on the NASA is throttle on here for channel 1. And then all the rest of them are the same. So that's kind of the setup for that, but I just wanted to mention that real quickly. All right. Wanted to talk about the retracts a little bit. When you receive this, the retracts will not be attached, and that's just to keep them safe during shipping. How this works is this little screw right here is what holds the post that's in here in there. Now that's the design of these actual retract units. What you want to do is you want to pull this, undo the screw there. You don't have to pull it all the way out. Again, it's just a locking screw. And then you'll be able to rotate these, and you're going to pull them out like this. Actually, these will already be out. You won't have to worry about that. But when you receive them, you're going to grab your piece like this. You're going to okay. You're going to look right there. I had the yellow rubbers marking the front, so you can see. But based on that, there's the front. And also I have this upside down so where you can see it'll rest on the motor mounts and nothing else actually touches, so you're safe there. So you're going to take this and you're going to slip it down in the hole just like this. Ta-da! Just like that. You want to make sure it's straight, make sure everything is flush. Okay? And then from that point, you're going to reach down here and you're just going to tighten up this screw. Okay, you want to make sure this screw tightens up really tight as you can possibly get it. And once it's that tight, retracts are solid. They're not going to move, they're not going to go anywhere, you're good to go. So that's how you're going to install the retracts once you receive it. That's been an overview of your X450 with the Turnagee motors and the GoPro gimbal. I hope you love it. We've got your flight test coming up. Let us know if you have any questions. Enjoy.